Since 1963, Riverbend has been providing high-quality care for people with mental health disorders in their communities. It was the 1963 Community Mental Health Act, signed by President Kennedy, that allowed us to become part of a network of 10 community providers in the state of New Hampshire. Over the next few minutes, you're going to hear from our incredible staff about what it truly is like to work here at Riverbend. This is really hard work, there's no question about that. But it's incredibly rewarding because we at Riverbend know that treatment works. Thank you so much for considering becoming part of our team.
This work is really hard and it takes an emotional toll on you.
We have the kids who are in and out of the hospital. We have the kids who have pretty severe suicidal ideation. We have the really aggressive, 8, 9-year-old boys who are struggling at school. We have the 3, 4, 5-year-olds who are having real significant behaviors and they can't find childcare for them. And so our team goes in and starts working with these families, and we're providing service sometimes every day.
So I do a lot of work in living rooms and at kitchen tables and wherever really the family needs me to be.
You have to be able to tolerate smoke and animals and uncleanliness. And sometimes it's even perhaps religious artifacts that may not quite mesh with your own personal beliefs.
Working in the home is important in my mind for family work, especially because you see more of the context. I've worked with families that have come into an office, and it's never intentional, but there's so much that they're not able to tell you right away.
So there's usually 2 individuals that are working with a family, and then as we get to know the families and they get used to us, sometimes we bring in our TBS work where we're going out into the community with the child and working on certain skills that they need to work on. And so that sometimes will be a 3rd person from my team coming in and working individually with the child. And then, depending on if individual therapy is needed and it's not being provided by an in-office clinician, then maybe we have a 4th member of our team who's doing individual therapy. And if there's siblings, sometimes another member of our team's doing the work with that sibling. So really we wear many, many hats on the family intensive team. Hello, this is Tom.
We hear all kinds of sad and tragic things all day long. And so at some point you do develop sort of an immunity to that. And it's a good thing because it's a defense mechanism. But every once in a while there are those ones that just kind of slip the defenses and they throw you for a loop.
You had mentioned concern about learning issues. Could you just say 1 or 2 sentences about that, because I want to reach out to the school and ask them.
With my supervisor or my colleagues, one of the things that's so great is we look out for each other. And we're like, hey, you know what? You're seeming kind of burned out. Take an extra long lunch. Take a day off next week, whatever it is. Because if we just keep going and going and going, it's impossible.
The team here does a really good job of protecting us. I've had a couple situations over this year where there's been, a risk in the community. Let's say, an ex-girlfriend of the father is threatening or something like that. And I don't, my supervisors encourage me not to go out to the house until things kind of simmer down.
Everyone has each other's backs from bottom up and top down. And then, the larger agency. I've never worked at a place that has done so much for their staff as Riverbend.
I'm looking for a person who is excited, passionate, has a firm belief that people do as well as they know how to do. And our job is not to fix it for them. Our job is to offer assistance and be a guide.
The opportunity to really make an impact on children's lives and their families. There really aren't words to express what that feels like. You know, it's incredibly humbling. It's incredibly satisfying.
It's really, really hard sometimes, and it can take a lot out of me, but I feel good about what I'm doing. I feel like that, you know, I'm actually helping people, and that, I mean, you know, that and making a living out of it, that's the most important thing.